About a month ago, Instacart announced that they would be hiring over 300,000 new shoppers. They made this announcement because there was a huge boom in demand for the Instacart customer service. Customers were coming onto the app, new customers that had never used the app before, and ordering groceries through Instacart's platform. And Instacart simply just did not have enough shoppers to keep up with all of this demand. This was great news for a lot of people. Instacart customers were benefiting from the platform because a lot of people were too scared to go out and do their own grocery shopping. They didn't want to take the risk of contracting the COVID-19 virus. And a lot of Instacart shoppers had not been on the platform long. A lot of shoppers do it long term, but some people recently had lost jobs, been furloughed, laid off, and came onto the platform to earn a little bit of extra income to help pay for their bills, utilities, whatever it may be during these troubling times. And opportunistic Instacart shoppers that had been on the platform for a while realized that this was a great time to start sharing their referral code and potentially making some referral bonuses for signing up new shoppers. If you've been an Instacart shopper for a while, you know that these bonuses can be quite big. And Instacart was advertising that they could be up to $2,500 for bringing on a new shopper. Now, of course, that new shopper has to complete the necessary number of batches within a given time frame, and it's really hard to do. Not a lot of shoppers end up actually completing this because it can be over 100 new batches in less than 30 days. So fast forward a month, and here we are today. All of a sudden, I'm seeing a ton of comments on my Instacart videos about people not seeing a lot of batches popping up. That's right, they've turned their notifications on, and Instacart just isn't sending out that many notifications for new batches. So what exactly is happening? Has Instacart hired too many shoppers? Are some Instacart shoppers using bots to pick up those batches quicker? It's really tough to say here, but it definitely looks like a decent chunk of this decreased demand that some longtime shoppers are seeing can be attributed to the new influx of shoppers now on the app. And the question now is, how many new shoppers is enough shoppers? That's one of the big questions with a lot of gig economy apps, where these platforms can just hire on new independent contractors, and that way they have enough people to pick up all of the orders, all of the batches, all of the rides, whatever it may be, so that their customers feel like they're getting the best possible experience on the platform. Because after all, if a customer on the Instacart platform is asking for a batch to be delivered and it sits around for 24 hours, then all of a sudden they're questioning whether they really want to use the Instacart service. So from that perspective, there is a need to bring on new shoppers, but at some point, does it get oversaturated? Do you see too many shoppers out there? And does this become less profitable for Instacart shoppers? And what should Instacart shoppers do if they happen to find that their market is oversaturated? Now in Seattle, I went on the Instacart shopper app earlier today, and for one of the first times, I did not see a ton of batches. But later on in the day, I found that there were definitely a number of batches available. Now, I'm not seeing the huge payouts that I was seeing over a month ago when all of this started happening, when people were starting to use these shopping services and Instacart much more frequently. There was a lot of batches available for 50, 60 plus in Seattle, and it was really just easy picking. I could log on, look at these batches, and take 15, 20 minutes to decide, and that batch would still be there because there was 10 plus batches available. Now I'm seeing more like 3 or 4 batches, and that concerns me because that may mean that other markets are seeing maybe 1 or 2 batches, maybe even no batches available at many times. So what exactly should you do if this happens to be you? Maybe you signed up for Instacart recently and you're relying on this, for income to pay your rent, to pay your bills, and you really need this money. Or maybe you've been on the platform for a long time and now all of a sudden you're not seeing as many batches out there. Well, I talk about this quite a bit on this channel, and one of the biggest ways to kind of guarantee that you're still going to have consistent income if you do happen to be working on the gig economy is to apply for multiple apps. That means if you're doing Instacart, you may want to also look at Shipt. You may want to look into food delivery, do something with DoorDash, do something with Grubhub. Personally, I'm a big fan of Grubhub, or maybe even try normal delivery with Amazon Flex. One of the projects that I've been working on, gigsharks.com, shows you almost all of the available gigs in your area, in your city, and we're in over 150 cities in the US. So if you're looking for a new gig, make sure to check that out and see if you can find some other ways to kind of diversify that gig economy income. And I definitely don't think that this is time to panic. I think that Instacart probably brought on a ton of shoppers, and they may be seeing that they hired enough that, demand is where it should be. It's meeting supply. They can fill all of these batches when they need to. So maybe they'll ease up a little bit and you'll start seeing more batches in your area if you kind of just hang in there. But if you've got some free time, check out those other gig economy apps. And if you have other suggestions, leave them down below because I'd love to hear from you. Obviously, I don't have all the answers, and it kind of helps to hear other tips and tricks from people that have been shopping on the app for longer. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for all of the latest gig economy news and updates.